Welcome to TRADEREP. This is Short Hammer. It is the 12th of July, 2019, and we are looking at CI. Now, yesterday there was news from the White House that the president was removing, I believe, because he came out, I believe it was last week, with a statement that he wanted to do an executive order for transparency in healthcare pricing and how drug companies and insurers get rebates. So he came back out, the White House came back out yesterday, and they mentioned pre-market that they were removing that contingency rebate rule that they were considering. So they weren't going to do a executive order on rebate compensation. So that directly benefited insurers and sort of did not benefit pharmaceutical companies, from how I understood it. So yesterday, pharmaceutical companies dropped. You can see that by looking at LABU, LABU, and insurers ran. So before the market even opened, CI, Anthem, they were just ripping to the up, like insane movements, 15, 20 points. And if you look at this daily chart on CI, which is a ticker that I follow, it pushed really hard to the upside, and you see it push through all these resistance levels where you see these lower wicks here, multiple days, supply demand zones, 177, 178, it just 180, 182, and it pushed into that 185 area. And from here, you can just see it pushed hard through the 200. It's a hard push. So on the pullback that we see here, it pulled all the way back and closed around 175 after tapping this 173. This is the first area where you can see a little bit of support, looking back on candle structure here. And then there's a little bit of support here in the 170 area. So what are we going to watch for today? Let's go to the lower time frame. So on our 5-minute chart, this was the push up. So right around, that was 940, a push into that 185 area, 185.74. Then we pull, that's the supply demand zone here. Then pulling back. Couldn't regain this 181 area. Down. Went as low as, this was 177.25, then a push back up. Retest the VWAP, couldn't get over that. Then we just faded for the rest of the day, all the way down to the lower 170s, the 173 area, and we bounced. So what are we watching for tomorrow? Well, tomorrow's main intraday pivot is 178. Let's see what we do on a back test of this area. If we're able to get through and we see a few buyers step in, if we go sideways just based on how big the movement was yesterday, if we push back up into this 178 area and then we begin to sell off a little bit more, we have the quarterly pivot down here at 171. We have a supply demand zone here, 173.18 by 173.51. So that'll be interesting to watch to see the movements we see tomorrow. Do we hold this 173 bottom we put in yesterday, or is this just going to be a push up and then a failure, or a push up, hold, and then leg? So this is definitely something to watch. There's some resistance up through the 178, 177 area. So that's what I'll be watching for on CI today, to see if we see buyers step in that after digesting that news, they like the levels where we are and they want to get in thinking we can go higher, or if there's still more room to the downside of where buyers are waiting to step in, where they say, hey, you know what, this thing ran really hot yesterday, I'd rather buy at a lower price and have a little bit more value to the upside. So we'll see how that works out, but that's what I'm looking for on CI.